Well, good morning. Here we are again in another balance class. I'm glad you're here with me. And we will do some things we did in the past, maybe take it on for a little bit, and then we will do some other things that take on it or are completely new, okay? So first of all, as usual, we check our form and we check where we are. So you want to be able to stand next to something that is safe. It could be a sturdy chair like I have in here, and that you should have in your homes. You do want a chair. A counter, like a kitchen counter, or just a wall. Okay, just a wall like this one or like the one behind me. Corner is really good too because it keeps you safe. And you're going to stay close to something just in case you lose balance or just in case some of the exercises are hard enough to do and you need some support, okay? So check our form. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Open your chest. Take your shoulders slightly back to make sure that they are aligned with your hips. Make sure your abdominal muscles are slightly in. Good. And chin is parallel to the floor. You're looking straight forward unless we need something else to do. Your knees should be unlocked. That's very, very important. I say that every day to almost everyone, young or older. When you lock your knees, you automatically put pressure on your lower back. So for safety of your lower back, first of all, you want to soften the knees, and also it allows you more flexibility as you move. So even if you do lose balance or turn, you're actually more flexible. You can move more easily. Okay, so once we all have that, shoulders are back, we're opening everything, abdominal muscles are engaged. Let's just warm up by doing side steps. So you're going to do side step to the right and close, left and close, right, close. Notice that I'm moving my arms too. So if you can, if you have a free hand, then you're moving with both hands. You can move it sideways and you can move it forward as if you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. Good. And push. You can do it slower or faster, the steps. So you are deciding how fast you want to move. And maybe over your head, maybe a little harder over your head. And when you're pushing over your head, make sure you're extending your arms all the way up. So I want you to see the elbows almost straight. That is really important to do these moves over our head. And let's do one more, and other side, and take a break. Good. And let's do just march in place. And I want you to try and lift your knees as high as you can. Again, your hand is holding a chair or the wall. If you feel that lifting that leg up makes you unstable, lift it up as high as you can. Move the opposite arm. Good. You will notice that you're starting to get cardio starting to come in. If your breathing becomes a little heavier. Let's do a few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake, 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 shake. Good. Let's turn, put our hands shoulder height. And let's turn over your left shoulder. You can pivot the other foot. Look behind you. See what's behind you. And then come to the front. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Notice that I'm pivoting always the opposite foot. And let's do it one more time. To each side, to the front, and then to the front again. Good. Let's take the chair. Let's take the chair. And we're going to start with something you do every day. But the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the best exercise. You know that I do that a lot. So we're going to do some sit-to stands because it's something I like to do in almost every balance class. You're sitting at the edge of your chair. You can see in the mirror, I have a lot of space between my back and the back of the chair. Your hands can be by your thighs. They can be on the handles of the chair if you have handles and if you need them to get up. If you don't need them, you can put the hands forward, it'll help you. You can put them on your chest, you can even put them by your ears, okay? Today I'm going to put it on my chest, but you will put it wherever it's convenient. Place your feet closer to you, belly button in, shift your weight towards your toes and come up all the way up to standing, full standing. And then move down slowly. Good. And let's do that 9 more times, please. So we can get to 10. And try to do that, as I always say, at least once a day. So you will always be able to stand up and sit down for as long as you want to do it by yourself. Good. Exhale when you come up. Inhale when you come down. Move forward as you come up. Move a little backward as you come down. Good. We have a few more. And this is 10. You can do more whenever you have more power in you, but 10 is really a good number. So we'll take a break. Good. And the next thing I want you to do is let's stand up one more time so you can count that as 11 times today. And what I'd like to do, I will put this away so you'll be able to see me, but you're going to have a chair or a wall or both next to you. We're going to start by what we call tandem stance, but before that, we're just going to take a step. So your feet are parallel, shoulders are a little bit back, chest is open, everything is usual. Take the right foot and take a step forward, a normal step you would do if you were just walking right now. So take the right foot, put the heel first, put the toes, and stay. I want you to stay here, and I want you to check where your center of mass is, meaning is your belly button, is your weight that divided evenly between the front and the left leg, between the right and the left leg. If you're not sure, shift your weight forward towards the front leg, then shift it all the way back towards the left leg, which should be the back leg. Then do it a couple more times, paying attention to how the weight shifts, how the leg feels heavier, and then try to find the middle. That's your middle. Once you have that middle and you keep those knees soft, you can actually stay there for a long time. If you're handed on the chair or the wall, that's perfectly fine. Okay, now let's take the leg back. Okay, nice. What we're going to do now is take it to the next level. So that was a regular step. Now we're going to try and make it a narrower step. So start by putting your feet together now. So earlier we were shoulder hip. Now our feet are together. We're going to try to take a similar step, but in a narrower width. Okay, so take that right leg again and take a step, a normal step, but a narrow one. Put the heel, put the toes, shift your weight. Belly button comes forward. If you're not sure if you're in the middle, the best way that I like is shifting to the front leg, then the back leg, front leg. Notice how my body moves as I'm shifting the weight. And once I find my middle, you should be able to see in the mirror that I am completely in the middle, and both legs take the weight in the same way. Good. Now we're going to shift the weight back in order to close that right foot back to place. Okay? So that was a narrow stand. Now we're going to try and take an even narrower forward step. This time we're going to take it on the same line. If you even have a line in your carpet or in your floor, try to walk on that line. We're not walking heel to toe yet. We're just taking a regular step, but this time I want the step to be right in front of the toes of the opposite leg, but in a distance, okay? So here it is. You should be able to see that in the mirror. You can see that I am in a straight line, but there's a distance. And the same way, this is a little harder now to hold the weight in the middle and stay there. So forward and back to feel the pressure increases in the front leg when you're moving forward, in the back leg when you're moving backwards, and then find your middle. Once you find that middle, you should be quite comfortable relatively to that narrow, very narrow stance. And now take the leg back Shift the weight to the left hip and bring the right foot back. Good. And the last but not least is we're going to start now with tandem. So this time we're going to try and put the heel, the right heel, right in front of the toes of the left foot. So they should be touching from the side, just in case you can't see it in the mirror. I am just putting my right foot right in front of the left in a straight line, heel toe touching. Now, as I'm doing that, I want to stay, and it's hard. You'll find it quite hard. So I'm going to move the weight again forward to the front leg, then to the back leg, to the front, to the back. Try to find your middle stance. Belly button goes just above your heel toe touching point. Good. Try to stay there, and if you're holding on to something, that's perfectly fine. Your knees should be really soft. Good. And release. Now, if you are finding it quite hard to do it heel to toe, the other option would be a smaller step, and instead of going all the way to the front, but just to the side. So to the side of that other foot, or to the middle. So wherever you feel comfortable, always change the exercise according to your ability. So this is the right leg, but now we have to work on the left, and we might see differences between the right and the left. So let's do that step. Let's start first with hip width apart, usual form, head looking straight always, and then take the left foot into a regular step forward like this, heel toe. Now play with that weight, going forward and back, forward and back. Good. And find your middle point, stay in the middle, knees are soft, so you can stay there. It should be quite possible to stay there for a long time if you needed to. Good. Now let's shift the weight to the right hip and then take that leg back. Good. So that was a regular, wider step. Now let's start with feet together. And now we're going to take a narrow step. So again, left leg goes forward to a regular step, heel, and then toes. And now you're shifting your weight a little bit forward and back to recognize where you are. Good. Very nice. And then shift your weight to the middle. Try to find your middle and hold. Holding is usually the hardest part. So knees are soft and head looking straight. If any one of you can see your feet right now, not through a mirror like I can, then you are looking down. So I want you to look straight up. Good. And let's close the leg by shifting the weight to the right hip and closing the leg so the feet are together. Good. Now, we're going to take a very narrow step on the same line, but not heel toe yet. We're taking it step by step. So let's take a step right in front, the right foot, heel and toe, and now find your middle. If you're not sure, forward, back will help you understand what does it mean to put it in the middle after you've noticed the shifting of the weight to the front and then to the back leg. And now find your middle point. Good. If you can, make sure that your posture is still good. Abdominal muscles engaged and shoulders are back, chest is open. Good. Let's shift our weight again to the right hip. Close the feet together. Good. Next step would be the full tandem stance, or what is called semi-tandem. So for those of you who found the heel-toe possibility too hard, you can take a small step forward and close by to the heels or in the middle. And if you feel like you can do heel-toe, but you do need the chair or the wall, you can do that as well. So take the heel of the left foot and place it right in front of the right foot, just like we did. So this one is harder to hold. Let's just shift the weight forward and back so we can identify where is the middle. The middle part will allow us to stay there longer. Good. And then find your middle. Try to stay there. Try to hold on. Good. I'm going to add one more thing though. Put your hand there if you need to. Turn your head in this position. If you're still holding it, turn your head slowly to the right. You'll notice that that adds some more needs for your balance. And then bring your head to the front. If you can, turn your head and look all the way to the left. And bring it to the front. And let's close that. Stand, take that left foot back, and shift the weight to the right, and close your feet, and good. So let's just march and just relax a little bit. We were in one position, it's a little bit tiring. And as you know, this balance takes a lot of concentration. It's not just, oh, I'm just gonna do an exercise. It's exercises that require you to be conscious of your body, of your senses as well. Okay, let's stop for a moment. Now, let's take what we just did, the heel toe, and try to make it into a walk. Everybody knows that when you go to the doctor's office and or to a neurologist's office, he will ask you to do that heel toe. Funny thing is that some people would like to call it DUI walk, including myself. Everybody understands that. So what we're going to try and do is walk in the same way we stood earlier. So we're going to try, and notice that I move myself closer to the wall or to the counter, because I may need it, okay? Take your right foot and try to place it in front of the left toes, heel to toe, and shift your weight forward. And if you can, lift the back heel and then bring the back heel now to the front and shift your weight. Notice that I have to move my body forward. My belly button moves forward or I will stay back there. Your hand is on the side if you need to, and keep walking. If you're looking down, make sure you stop looking down. I want you to look forward. And stop and take a break. Take a break. Now, you may ask, why do I need to keep my head up when I need to make sure that my toes and my feet are just connected? Well, you want to be able to feel it so that your head can actually see everything else in front of you. And also, when you look down, you're shifting your weight forward. And so if you lost balance for a moment, you may be falling forward. So let's try and do that one more time, keeping your head straight just in case. And hand on the chair or on the wall or counter next to you. Let's start right heel touching the left toes and try to move your body forward, shifting your weights forward. By the way, the slower you do it, the harder it gets. So if you're doing that in a hurry right now, you might be wanting to finish it fast because it's hard. So try to do it slower and have the control. Okay. Let's stop for a moment. Good. And I'm going to also show you from the side one more time. Maybe we can also do a little variation of it. So let's do one more time forward. And I'm going to show you from the side, head looking straight, and heel toe, belly button in. Now, if it's really hard and heel toe is impossible, just do it slowly on the side. See how I'm doing that? I'm touching it, but on the side. That makes my base of support a little wider. And continue if you can. And keep your form. Take a break if you need to at any point. And let's take a break. Good. And we're going to add a variation to it. Okay. We're going to try and put the front leg only after it took a really side kick. So you're going to kick with the right leg and only then put it in front of the left. And then kick and to the front. So notice this makes my balance work harder because the kick makes me lose a little bit, or let's put it that way, challenges me because it wants my body to move to the side, but I have to keep it in the middle. So I'm going to do that. Good. Good. Let's do it one more time. So these are things you want to practice every day. So there's no too much of that. You can do it every single day and it will only help you. So let's do that one more time. Kick with the right and bring it in front of the left and shift forward. Kick to the left, bring it to the front, shift to the right, kick that's what I meant. If you do shift too much to the side, you will possibly lose the balance. Good. So again, slower is harder. So make sure you're not going too fast. Good. Since you're looking so good, I actually want to do backwards, and it's harder. So I will show you from the side just in case that the mirror is not showing that very good. So when I want to go backwards in the same way, I will start by putting my toes, and then I want to put my heel. The same idea, but this time I want to feel my toes touching the front leg's heel, and then continue back. So now the weight is shifting backward. It's a little harder. And of course, before you did it, I am sure you looked over your shoulder to make sure there's nobody there. And if you're doing that right now with me, you notice that turning your head to the side and behind you in tandem stance is very, very hard. Okay, let's take a break from that. So I want to add one more exercise that will actually take everything together. So as we were walking in the DUI walk or the tandem walk, you notice it's not easy. And so what I want to add to is the turning. So very often as we walk, we need to suddenly turn. Somebody calls our name, and then we have to turn. If it's a sudden shift, we sometimes feel like we can lose our balance. So let's just walk for a moment. Just walk freely around the place, walking forward, and then I'll walk backward just so you'll see I'm walking forward. If you want to practice walking backwards, that's also okay, but stay by the chair or wall. Good. Now, we will walk, and whenever I say turn, you're going to turn to that side. I'm going to say which side to turn, and you're going to turn around, look over your shoulder, and then continue walking to that side, okay? So let's go. I want you to walk, and then I'll turn to the right. Good. Nice. Find your balance again. Let's do that again. Walk, and then I'll turn. Turn all the way to the left. Turning backwards, and then turning all the way to the right now. Good. So be safe. Turn to the right. I'm doing it opposite. Good. And if you can, walk slightly backwards as well. Good. Okay, let's do it now again. And this time what we're going to do is just turn our heads. We're not going to turn the whole body, okay? So walk, and then I'll ask you to turn your head to one place, okay? So just walk around. When I say turn your head, you're going to turn your head to the side. Turn your head to the right and continue. Good. Turn your head to the left and continue. Good. One more time. Turn your head to the right and continue. Last one. Turn your head to the right and continue. Good. Very nice. So if you notice a little bit of a change, a fast change in position, a fast change in the position of our head and our legs can make a difference in our balance, okay? So you want to practice that as well. Okay, so if we want to do another exercise, we could do another exercise for your core. It's always good to do. You can do it seated today. I like to add it to all of the balance classes because strong core and strong legs do help us with our balance, but it's not the only thing. And I'm going to combine that balance into that. So you want to take your back slightly backwards. Now the back of the chair is away from my own back, okay? Let's start easy. Hands are on your chest or here if you need support, or on the chair itself, okay? And then just move forward and back, okay? So that's not too bad. Okay, that should be too bad. You want to go more backwards than forward. Good. And stay in the middle. Now, bring both heels up if you can. So now your base of support of the floor is a little bit smaller. It's just your toes or the balls of your feet. Let's continue. So you'll notice it's slightly harder on the core work. Now, only if you can, and if you feel safe, try to lift one leg as you're going back. Lift and move back. When you're lifting the leg and moving back, you have even smaller base of support now. Only one foot is touching. And if you really want to be challenged today, but you don't have to do it today, you can switch them in the air. So one goes up, and then they'll switch in the air together. So it will look like this. Okay? So now my back is staying in place, and I'm switching the legs in the air. It's hard for the core. It works on the balance. Good. And put the leg down and come forward. Bring your legs down. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake. Good. Let's stretch. Open your feet a little bit wide. As wide as you can. Put your hands on your thighs. Make sure you have a good support of the chair. And just shift your body forward. Your upper body goes slightly forward. And then take your left shoulder in. And then look over your right shoulder up towards the ceiling. You'll feel a twist in your back. And come up. Let's do that on the other side as well. And as you exhale, you're going to put the right shoulder in, looking over your left shoulder. And come up. Good. Let's stretch our right leg forward. Heel is up. Heel is on the floor. Toes facing up. Back is straight. Belly button in. And hinge forward. Keep that knee straight to feel the stretch in the back of your leg, hamstrings, and calf muscles. Good. Let's switch legs. Left goes forward, straight, and shift your weight forward. Good. And let's all stand up or stay seated if you prefer that. And then take a deep breath in. And exhale. Thank you for coming. Good job. Awesome.